John Deaton replying to an X post of Eleanor Tourette. Just as my friend Meta Lawman suggested, by the way, I have met some of the best and smartest lawyers here on crypto Twitter, including those who have disagreed or been critical of me. And he's in response to Eleanor Tourette saying, two well-placed sources tell me that the SEC versus Ripple case is in the process of wrapping up and could be over soon. And she said, my understanding is that the delay in reaching an agreement is due to Ripple's legal team negotiating a more favorable term regarding the August district court ruling, which imposed a $125 million fine on the company and included a permanent injunction preventing the company from selling XRP to institutional investors. The argument, I'm told, is that the new SEC leadership is wiping the enforcement slate clean from all previously targeted crypto firms because it believes regulatory clarity will resolve the underlying issue. Why should Ripple still be penalized? Accepting the Torres ruling as it stands would mean that Ripple is essentially agreeing to admit to wrongdoing, but now the SEC itself is seemingly unsure whether any wrongdoing occurred. So on top of that, our Twitter, our X account, Bull Runners, go ahead and follow us at Bull Runners HQ, also posted this out. SEC announces a closed door meeting on March 13th, 2025. Something big is brewing, so that will be tomorrow at 2 p.m. on March 13th. The meeting will be held via remote means and or the commissioner's headquarters, Washington, D.C. And we'll get into the deeper dive of the article on all of this here in just a couple of minutes, but it is really interesting, all of this craziness that's going on. In fact, there's articles everyone's talking about on an X. This could be something huge tomorrow, or is it going to be a nothing burger as it always is? Well, I'm optimistic. I think that this could be coming to an end tomorrow. And as we saw in the intro video, I wanted to show you this at length because he does a great job explaining this here. Patrick Bet-David.
That happens. If XRP replaces SWIFT and FedNow, you know what happens? Let me give you some numbers here. XRP's ledger processes transactions in 3 to 5 seconds at nearly no cost, making it significantly faster and cheaper than SWIFT. So SWIFT processes $5 trillion daily, or 1.25 quadrillion annually. If you didn't know what that was, quadrillion annually, SWIFT. If XRP captures 5 to 10% of volume, let's just say 10% of volume, $125 trillion annually. The demand for XRP, by the way, it could be any of these other technologies we're talking about. Analysts estimate that a $10 trillion market cap could push XRP's price to $100 per token with full replacement potentially driving it up to $1,000. Now, who those analysts are, I'm willing to bet those analysts own Ripple. And that's why they're writing this. Hey, analysts, just because I say analyst says, it doesn't mean they're 100% right. But hey, it is a way of looking at what could happen with this. If this were to happen, it's a big deal. Now, the roadblock that they have are a couple things. One is the SEC lawsuit that has slowed adoption, but a resolution could boost institutional confidence. Regulatory approval, especially in the U.S., is critical for widespread adoption. Let me unpack the legal trouble. Let's just go back 4 or 5 years so you kind of know what's going on here. December 22nd, 2020, the SEC filed a lawsuit against Ripple Labs and its executive, Brad Garlinghouse, alleging that the sale of XRP constituted an unregistered securities offering worth over $1.3 billion. Then in April of 2021, Judge Sarah Netburn granted a motion limiting the SEC's access to the personal financial records of Garlinghouse and Larson, marking a procedural win for Ripple. Then 2 years later, July 13, 2023, Judge Annalisa Torres issued a mixed ruling. XRP was not deemed a security when sold on public exchanges, but institutional sales violated securities law. Ripple was fined $125 million, significantly less than the original $2 billion. Then we go to October 2024. SEC filed an appeal against Judge Torres' ruling, seeking clarity on XRP's clarification. Ripple's leadership criticized the appeal, and XRP's value experienced volatility, dropping to a 11% following the news. November 2024, reports surfaced that Gary Gensler planned departure in January 2025. Hello, that was a big moment for them because Gary was a guy that was not happy about it. He kind of had some favors with a couple friends he had different places. Legal experts, including attorney Jeremy Hogan, speculated that this could lead to a resolution of Ripple case by spring or early summer of 2025. December 2nd, XRP's market performance showed significant growth with a 123% growth, increased since SEC's initial lawsuit, showing signs of optimism. So who knows what's going to be happening? When the president, his name is Donald Trump, and he puts something on Truth Social, and the first one he puts up is XRP, then the retweet, he says, let me also give some love to Bitcoin and Ethereum. that means some of the people behind closed doors that are in his ear, like a guy like Elon Musk and some of the other people, maybe something's about to happen. I would be paying attention. That's all I'm saying to you. Next, analysts are.
So another interesting bull post for XRP. Bitcoin BTC is the greatest distraction from the greatest disruption that is happening in the financial services today. Ginny Johnson, Franklin Templeton CEO, XRP ETF was just filed by Franklin Templeton. So let's take a listen.
Say that one of the best opportunities now is cryptocurrencies, though crypto has had some problems. What do you tell people that say they want to be in cryptocurrencies? Do you offer the opportunity for people to invest in crypto through Franklin Templeton?
Yes, actually we do. So first of all, I would say that that Bitcoin is the greatest distraction from the greatest disruption that is happening in financial services today. So I wish, because every time everybody gets in a conversation about crypto, it leads into a conversation about whether this currency, whether it's Dogecoin or Bitcoin, is of value. Forget that. That's like a religion. You either get a believer or a non-believer, and they're never going to agree. But blockchain as a technology and what it can do is going to be hugely disruptive. So not only is it going to be disruptive on traditional back offices and just create much greater efficiency, but disruption on business models.
Say that
one of the oldest banks in the United States stated at Congress that they are committed to developing the future of finance via the integration of blockchain as well. BNY Mellon processes $2.4 trillion in payments each day across all payment rails.
As the world's largest custodian with more than 52 trillion of assets in custody, BNY helps companies and banks, big and small, access the money they need. BNY plays a central role in supporting US Treasury markets and process approximately 2.4 trillion of payments per day across all payment rails. Our commitment to advancing the future of finance includes the integration of blockchain. This technology has the potential to make money move smarter and faster. Stablecoins can use these benefits to serve as a complement to the existing payment services and rails we offer our clients today. BNY supports stablecoin issuers by providing our traditional banking services, payments, deposit taking, and custody. For example, we serve as the primary custodian for the reserve assets of the largest stablecoin issuer in the US today. Providing these traditional services to a new client type was a natural evolution for BNY. The stablecoin ecosystem will continue to develop as market participants explore use cases based on their business models and client needs. This ecosystem will benefit from federal legislation that advances clarity and consistency no matter the type of stablecoin issuer or the governing regulatory regime.
XRP ETF, here are the funds awaiting SEC approval so far. Now, one thing I want to put into perspective here, I'm personally pretty conservative on my thoughts on the growth of XRP exploding overnight. And we continue to hear that it could all happen overnight. Well, it's really interesting because we have 16 companies that want to have an ETF for XRP waiting in the stables. Once the SEC court case is dropped potentially tomorrow, then all of these go live potentially next week, and they offer all of their clients XRP ETFs. It could be an overnight scenario where it does go to $100, $1,000, or some of these crazy numbers like $10,000 a coin when you really put it into perspective. So Franklin Templeton joins the ETF race, and their ETF is designed to track the performance of XRP's price, with XRP holdings stored at Coinbase Custody Trust, according to an official filing with the SEC and Exchange Commission on the 11th. Now, what's really interesting, if you've noticed, we watch whale watchers, and we'll see a lot of times that XRP, unknown wallet to Coinbase, and everyone's like, oh, what could that be? What if these companies are loading up already, but they haven't been able to offer them for sales to their customers? That's a what if as well. On the same day, the SEC postponed decisions on multiple crypto ETF filings, including Grayscale's proposal to convert XRP to a trust and an ETF. Despite the growing XRP ETF filing frenzy, BlackRock, issuer the largest spot Bitcoin ETF, has yet to submit its filing. So imagine when that one comes along as well. Who has filed with the US so far? As of March 12th, 9 companies have filed XRP ETF products in the United States, including major issues like Bitwise, ProShares, 21 Shares, and others. Bitwise, one of the world's largest crypto fund managers, was the first firm to submit the S1 filing for an XRP ETF all the way back on October 2nd, 2024. So here are the XRP ETF filings. We'll talk about the issuer first. We got Bitwise, Canary Capital, 21 Shares, Wisdom Tree, ProShares, CoinShares, Grayscale, Volatility Shares, and Franklin Templeton. So that's 9 different companies, but some of them are going to be offering different product options. So just US-based ETF offers right here, we have 14 different offerings that will hopefully be coming available. Canary Capital subsequently followed their S1 in October 8th. Switzerland-based crypto firm 21 Shares and US ETF provider Wisdom Tree also filed late 2024, with filings coming in November and December respectively. Asset manager ProShares joined the ETF race in 2025. Another XRP ETF filing came in the European crypto investment firm CoinShares in January, with Grayscale proposing to convert its trust into an ETF, trading on the New York Stock Exchange. Volatility Shares, a Florida-based financial service firm founded in 2019, also filed 3 XRP ETF products. Other filings featuring XRP ETFs beyond dedicated XRP ETF filings, at least 2 asset managers have included XRP in a broader ETF fund. On January 21st, asset manager Rex Osprey filed an ETF Opportunities Trust, which includes 7 ETFs tracking assets including major coins such as XRP and Bitcoin, as well as meme coins like Bonk and Official Trump. Similarly, Tuttle Capital Management submitted an ETF Opportunity Trust filing including 10 daily target ETFs covering assets such as XRP and Melania Coin. Aside from BlackRock, a number of crypto ETF providers have not yet filed for their XRP ETFs, including Invesco, VanEck, ARK Invest, Fidelity Investments, and Galaxy Digital. So as you know, we are early to crypto. We covered this a couple of videos ago, but that's crazy to understand that people who do regular investing, they want to be involved in crypto, but they don't want to custody their own coins, are all about to get a floodgate amount of XRP ETF availability. And as we've been talking about the SEC enforcement case, it could be wrapping up. So let's take a deeper dive into this. The case was reportedly in process of wrapping up, but the final outcome could still result in a monetary judgment. Ripple's chief legal officer, Stuart Alderati, told Cointelegraph on March 11th that the SEC civil case was far more advanced than many others that are regulated had dropped following the inauguration of President Trump. Since January, the SEC has announced it will not pursue enforcement cases against Coinbase, Consensus, Kraken, and others. He went on to say, "We do have a judgment. We are on appeal. That presents some additional complexity. But we remain optimistic that we'll get a resolution with the SEC, and if we don't, we'll proceed with the appeal." According to Alderati, there were several possible outcomes to ending the SEC case if both parties were in agreement that should wind down. If Ripple and the SEC agree independently to drop their appeal and cross-appeal on the Second Circuit, then the $125 million judgment in the lower court would stand. If there was a dispute over the monetary judgment, then the blockchain firm and the commission would go hand to hand to request any modification from a judge. The SEC versus Ripple case involved one of the first significant court rulings favoring the crypto industry when Annalisa Torres said XRP token was not a security under the regulator's purview, but only in regard to programmatic sales on exchanges. At the time of publication, no filing suggesting that the SEC intended to drop the case appeared on the docket for the U.S. District Court for Southern District of New York or the U.S. Courts of Appeals in the Second Circuit. There are some changes of tone under Trump, obviously. Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse said in an interview that aired in December of 2024 that the firm may not have gotten as involved in U.S. politics if the commission had been led by someone other than Gary Gensler. Under Garlinghouse, Ripple contributed $45 million to the political action committee called Fair Shake for the previous election cycle and donated $25 million in November of 2024. Ripple pledged $5 million in XRP to Trump's inauguration fund following his election victory, and both Garlinghouse and Alderati attended Washington, D.C. events on January 20th as official guests. The chief legal officer personally donated more than $300,000 to fundraising in the political action committee supporting the U.S. president. Alderati suggested that the SEC dropping the case was independent of any political donations and more reflective of acting chair Mark Urida's perspective on the industry and related regulations. So